Now think of India about 800 years, 8,000 years. Rig Veda is 8,000 years old. So in the beginning, it was not, uh, everything was clear. Like a child. When child is born, it, it just makes sound. It has no meaning. But gradually, uh, the child learns how to speak, what to do, and then after that, when he goes to school, college, in the college, then he is a learned man. He knows everything, and, and even when he goes to kindergarten, whatever teacher teaches, he comes back and teaches the parents. So he knows a lot. So think of 8,000 years old, a culture, a civilization. And it was dawn on civilization. And when people saw beautiful sunrise, beautiful sunset, and stars, because that time there was no pollution, and it was lots of trees, jungles. So they saw this whole universe. Oh, wonderful! Then they tried and identified some, and gradually they thought there must be a reason why this was built, and must be some connection with us. So they tried to discover what is that connection. So what they did in Western world, it was exploring outward, but there some outward also exploration were there, but mostly it was inward journey. West also we see about 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, but in India it started long before. And then they used to go to forest, and their demand was very small. Fruits, roots, they used to take, as Sri Ramakrishna also said. And the whole day they used to merge in higher thoughts. And all of a sudden they started talking. And that revelations came to them, because they were pure in heart, lived a simple life, and no external activities. So they were inspired by something, and then they started. What they started is called Veda. What they started talking is called Veda. So in Veda also there are some are later additions also. That in the beginning, what we see, many things are symbolic, which we do not understand. But later, some of our teachers, they helped us to understand. So like Shankaracharya, like Sayanacharya, like that. We have teachers, great teachers. So we did not alter any text. And this is the talent of India, that they memorize the whole thing. And even today you will find some people, they have memorized the whole thing. Even today. Though it is now translated and also it is written, and the intonation that in the beginning I chanted, similar intonation, even today. And about 10 traditions are there, not only one. Now you can ask how this was memorized. So there is a way. What you say, then you go forward, come back, go forward, and come back, go forward. So nothing is lost. Some branches got lost, but not the text. So text was saved. Only thing, many words are not very clear. And some symbolic, say like this. What is this? Thumbs up. Good. Right? So, say, so this, say maybe 100 years back, this was not in use. And hence 100 years, like cool. I did not know what the cool means. Oh, cool. Only when I had landed in Australia, somebody said, oh, cool. I said, cool? What is this cool? So, what is the point? Point is, some symbolics adopted that time. Some remnants are still there. Say, you must have seen I do some homa there, fire ceremony. It's not fire ceremony, it's homa. There was no temple that time. What is the temple? This whole universe was temple. And not only that, what this symbolized. Okay, now say there is a piece of cloth. It's called flag. Right? So people sacrifice their life for that. Because to keep honor of that, even one should sacrifice one's life, because that represents the whole nation. So symbols has a great significance in our lives. And in Vedas, so first there was no temple, no deities like we have shrine, no shrine outside, they are meditating. Then they thought, okay, see fire, it's a great thing when they discovered fire. Because it has great power, it can burn the whole, bush and jungle. Let's say in Australia they say bushfire. Here what is said? Forest fire. So it has great power, and it can help us to also for cooking meal. So they saw that fire goes up, and God lives somewhere up there. In the beginning, that was the thought. So that means they started offering oblation. Oblation. So that fire will take up the oblation, and also that will help us. In the beginning, that was there. And we see that prayer also, like Ishetva, that fire, Agni Mile Purohitam Yagyasya Deva Mirtijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. So, fire ceremony, that was the ceremony that time. And still it is there, we worship that. In the beginning, if you notice, what we do? Agnitvam Sri Ramakrishna Namasi. We say, oh fire, your name is now Sri Ramakrishna. And whatever we offer to Sri Ramakrishna. If you notice me, sometimes I look at Sri Ramakrishna also. So what is the purpose? The purpose is that I should remind myself that I am offering oblations to Sri Ramakrishna. Now, this is one thing. When I offer ghee, there are three parts. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa. Bhuswaha, Bhuva Swaha, Swa Swaha. Like that I say. So it is called Vyahriti. Vyahriti. So this we have in the beginning we have seen. Now gradually, whatever is outside, now gradually parallel will be taken within. So not only outside, I say outside, we that's also required. This is a temple. We gather here and discuss. So what we discuss? We discuss about own upliftment. People go to school, students. So school is a common place, but there they learn how to make bridges, how to, control a great energy, say electricity, or what to do, all kinds of knowledge. So similarly, fire ceremony, it has this Vyahriti. And then first outside, then inside. So, now comes. Now we have heard in the beginning Yash chandasam rishabho vishwarupa chandobhya amritat sambhavuva samendro medhaya smrinotu. Now Indra, now I'll read it. The Om that is preeminent in the Vedas, that pervades all words. Now Om is very important. Om pervades every Veda. So Om is the gist, and we have already explained what is Om. Om has got A, U, Ma and nasal sound. And if you see U, and then continue. So actually it touches almost everything. It rolls back, rolls forward. Om, Om. So this starts from Kantha, that means guttural, and then it rolls through, and all our sounds are through this. So these are symbol of whatever is gross, whatever is visible, whatever we see in this waking state, then whatever is subtle, whatever is seen or unseen, whatever is experienced, and third is whatever is causal, from which it sprung or springs. So that means it encompasses gross, subtle, causal, and also where all these are manifested. So Omkara is very important. So Om, that is preeminent in Vedas. So they started with this Om and Maha Omkar Dhani. So they offered prayers through fire. That's why fire is called Habya Vahana, carrier of Havi, oblation, to the divine. Because divine, in the beginning it's very difficult to understand what is divine, where he is. So they explored outside also. Then gradually they found the center is here. Now, the preeminent in the Vedas, that pervades all words, and that emerges from immortal Vedas as their quintessence. May he who is Indra. Indra means again Omkara or Brahman. So that time, later Indra is specified. The chief of all divinities. Okay. What is divine? We can see, like all Devata, if you ask any Sanatan Dharmi, that means Hindu Dharmi, so they will say there are various deities. That's why 33 million of deities, 300 millions of deities, and chief of them. But Indra in the beginning, this is represented by Om or Brahman. So Indra, that is Om, gratify me with intelligence. O Lord, may I be the receptacle of immortality. May my body be fit. May my tongue be surpassingly sweet. May I hear much through the ears. You are the sheath of Brahman. You are. So this is the meaning of the Shanti mantra. I hear much through the ears. That means let many things, many good things let me hear. You are the sheath of Brahman. You are covered by worldly wisdom. Protect what I have heard. Not only that, say I hear from one ear and it goes by through another ear. Though there is no direct connection, but we forget. But here, not only should I hear more, but let me help or please help me to retain those teachings. Hmm. Protect what I have heard. Then vouchsafe to me, who am her own, that means prosperity, own. That prosperity which brings increase and accomplishes quickly for me clothes, cattle, food, etc. See, in the beginning, ordinary things. And without that, even we cannot survive in cold. Just imagine, so 100 years ago, or 200 years ago, what was the condition of society? Not like this. Very difficult to sustain the air condition. Now we have air conditioned room. So basic necessities are also important, and in the beginning people used to pray for that. Now we don't pray because we know that it will be available. So, and if there is a difficulty, then we complain to the government why it is not there. Yeah, and drink forever, and which is associated with furry and other animals. Swaha. So this is one, two. Okay, here. Let us go forward. This we have already we have done, and then we have also read that there are various lokas. What is lokas? Lokyate anena iti lokam phalam, or location. That means various spheres. So bhur, bhuva, swa. Bhu means this world. Bhuva and a swa is like heaven. And 7 lokas are identified. So all this, and then there are various mantras for bhur bhuva swariti va etastisro vyahritayah tasam upasmaitam chaturthim. This we have already studied, but still I am just recapitulating. So these are 3 indeed are the vyahritis. So all these bhuvas. Of them, Mahachamasya, and then who discovered Maha? This another one is Maha. Pur, Bhuva, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya. 7 lokas are there. Satya Loka, Mahaloka. And for us, we have a Sri Ramakrishna Loka also. So that's it. Now comes, let us go forward. So, various ways of worshipping and description. So, it's like a child when he goes to school. So, what? He learns basic things, through limericks. Say like how to make sound and how various ways are there. So like this. Mahaiti Brahma. Maha also. So whatever is this, it's a Brahman. Brahmana bhava sarve veda mahiyante. And Brahman, in all Vedas, it is Brahman, or the glorification of Brahman. Bhuriti vai pranaha. So bhuva iti apana. Bhu, bhuva swa. Like pancha prana. So these are already discussed. Okay, now let us go to 6th. Saesho antarhridaya akasha. In the space that there is the, now comes, now after saying that outside things, now comes here, where to find this there, here inside. So it says, Saesho antarhridaya akasha. Tasmin nayaha purushaha manomayaha. Amrito Hiranmaya. So all this is there. So what it says? Here in this space of the heart resides the Purusha, who is endued with mind, immortal and of golden effulgence. Now you can see, you can relate now. First outside, Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, then Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya, and all these various. In the beginning, even asking for fleecy lamb. and food, etc. Everything is required. Then comes the mm, worship for worship to God, to have intellect, because without intellect we cannot retain it, to understand also. And this is in human being. He wants to know what is this, what is this world, how I am related to this. So naturally, an intelligent or intellect is required. After this, then comes, here in the space of the heart resides the Purusha. Purusha, now who is there? Who resides there? We cannot see like this. You have to negate what you are not. Say, generally we think we are bodies. But what happens? How much we remember that we are bodies? Not always. When I am reading a book, do you remember? Are you Jim? I am Jim. I am reading. No, because at that time your attention, full attention there. So, with this initial, then comes mind, then before that vital forces, mind, and then intellect, and with that, within that is sheath of bliss. Within that is Purusha. Purusha means Purnatvat, Purishayanat Purnatvatva. That means who resides within. Who is this person? Who creates? So this is the question and being answered. So here in this space of the heart resides the Purusha, who is endued with mind. Mind here means, say, intelligence. Mind, say, again, mind, we think that cogitating mind. Then same mind, when it decides, this is a computer, this is a mic, this is not a pencil. So that decision is taken by the intellect. So here mind means that. So it has with mind immortal and golden effulgence. So here mind is not only limited, it is not limited, it is golden effulgence. That means Jyotirmaya. Soyam Saya sa yaha. Sa means that, yaha, this, yeshaha, this one. So sa is eshaha, saha eshaha. Antarhidaya akashaha. Tasmin nayaha purusho manomaya. So Purusha, what kind of Purusha is he? That means he is full of effulgence and full of intellect. And not only that, Amritaha, Hiranmaya. Amrita means immortal. Antarena taluke, now where he resides. Now comes, like these are the initial things. Later yoga developed this. So, Antarena taluke, in between the talu means here palates. Yayesha stana iva avalambati, like that which is between the two palates. Palates means palates. What hangs like a nipple, like this, inside you can see. And where the root of hairs is divided, having rent the skull into twin. So like a skull, you have two kapala. Is the path to the attainment of Indra. Again Brahma. Indra means here not chief god, but Brahman. Okay. What is God? Idea of God. Idea of God is effulgence, means that principles. Say this light is shining. How it is shining? It is shining, it has principle of shining. That is why it is shining. Gravity, how it is working? Because there is a principle that works behind it. And when we discovered, then only we understood, why the things are falling. downward. There's gravity is pulling, the earth is pulling. So this is called Diva Dotanavan. Diva means that shines. Dyotanam, that means shines. So it is a kind of shine. Similarly, when we say deities, that means the shining principles. And we can say about, see, like this is very difficult to remember. So we can say, okay, like it's a human being. But he has a power of this power, of shining power. So this way, for ordinary people it is easy to remember. That is why you find so many gods and goddesses in Hinduism. So anyway, let us go forward. Between the two palates, what hangs like a nipple and where the root of hairs is divided, having rent the skull into twine, is the path to the attainment of Indra. So like this, then you can attain. So there are three here: Ida, Pingala, Sushumna. Three. These nadis, this is yogic. If you cut open, dissect a human being, you may not find that way, and it crisscrosses. So these are realized, and then it reaches there, and it also comes like this, and this ultimately it is called Sahasrara. So anyway, here it is only a hint; it is not fully developed here. Later yogis developed it. He resides in Agni as Bhu. So when we offer oblation in fire, so we offer to that. So this is symbolic of that. In air as Bhuva, in the sun as Suva or Swa, in Brahman as Maha. He himself becomes the Lord of all the gods. He becomes the Lord of the mind, the Lord of speech, because it is all pervading. So he is if you find the center, then you can find everything in the periphery. So he becomes the Lord of the mind and the Lord of speech, the Lord of the eyes, the Lord of the ears, and the Lord of intellect. Nay, more than this, he becomes the Brahman whose body is like ether, whose self is truth, who is the solace of life and bliss of the mind, exuberant with the wealth of peace, and is immortal. So now see, in the beginning, though it started like that, but ultimately it is reaching that, and he's not outside. Outside expression is there. It is projecting like this, but ultimately it is from within. Even science is now recognizing the observer factor. When we observe something, then it comes to existence. If we don't observe, then it may stay in its own way. But when we see something, that means we are observing. Anyway, let us go forward. O Prachin Yogya. Prachin Yogya is name. Do thou thus meditate upon him. So this is the way to meditate. Antar Hridaya Akasha. So one should meditate in the inner chamber of one's heart. Now let us go to 7th. Prithibhyantariksham. Now comes the earth, the sky, the heaven, the quarters. Quarter means sky, this space. Heaven, above space, or inside also, outside also, like not perceivable by us, but it has its existence, and it exists at the same time. Say we have different wavelength. When we have same wavelength, we can see each other. And sometimes some movie, they make movie. Like different wavelength, it can go to different wavelength, then it becomes invisible. Huh? So like that. So it is not somewhere else, it is here itself. Say like this, when you uplift yourself, uplift your mind, you are totally transfixed. You may not see this world like this because your wavelength is more than this visible. That means you have lifted yourself, your mind, and you can perceive higher thoughts. Say like this, I'll explain. Say an animal will see this world. You can see, you can play with puppy, etc. Or cat. Hmm? Okay. Then a boy goes to school. So before going, and say illiterate person see this world. But when a boy or girl goes to school, he learns so many things. See, like now just we talked about gravity. Is it there somewhere, gravity? So it is in our mind. Because we have uplifted ourselves, we can understand gravity, principle of light, principle of atomic energy, and all kinds of things. If you ask elderly people, they don't know how this mobile works. How it is possible? Even say 20, 30 years back, if you would have asked that you can talk to anywhere in the world, use your phone, nobody will believe you. But now it is so common. So it is lifting oneself to that state where you can perceive more. You can perceive more clearly. So the earth, the sky, the heaven, the quarters. Quarters means east, south, west, and north. Quarters. And then in between also. In between, say, Agni, Nairit, etc. Various names are there. Northwest. Now here also we can see northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, like that. And then up and down. So quarters. And the intermediate quarters. Northwest, that I said. The fire, the air, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the water and the herbs, the forest trees, space, and the Atman. Thus far regarding the creatures. So, Oshadaya Vanaspati Akasha Atma Ityadi Bhutam. If you remember that in the beginning that Adi Bhutam, Adi Jyotisham, etc. there, I said it will be clear later. So now he is explaining, see like this, this is the Bhutam. That means this is manifested being, Bhutam. Okay. Manifested being. Similarly, other things are also there. So you have to understand. Now as regards to soul, prana, atha adhyatmam. In the beginning it was explained. Panchaswadhikaraneshu अथातो पंचस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्योतिषम अधिविद्यम अधिप्रजम अध्यात्मम ता महासंहिता इत्याचक्षते. So now in the beginning it is said पृथिवी पूर्व रूपम दौरुत्तर रूपम आकाश संधि. So Prithvi, earth, is the beginning. And though the heaven is Uttar Rupa, that means posterior, I mean after. Akash in between is the Akash. So everything what they explained in the beginning. So then Vayu Sandhanam Ityadhi Lokam Athadi Jyotisham Agni Purva Rupam Aditya Uttara Rupam Apas Sandhi Vedyuta Sandhanam. So all these are already said. So now now Prithivir Antariksham Dor Disho Vantar Disham Dishaha Agnir Vayur Aditya Chandrama Nakshatrani. Now let us go to. I am not going in great details so that you should not be bored. Now, as regards to the soul, the earth, the sky, the heaven, the quarters, this is already said. Then, now as regards to the soul, the prana, the vital force, the vyana, the apana and udana and the samana, the eyes, the ears, the mind, speech and the touch, the skin and the flesh and the muscle, the bone and marrow. So this regard to this person, adhyatmam, this being. All this after having analyzed, the seer declared, all this is pankta, fivefold. All these are fivefold. So like we have five prana, we have five bhutas, panchabhutas, we have five senses, sense organs, then we have five organs of actions, like that, pankta. So they analyzed and they declared. The seer declared. All this, after having analyzed, the seer declared, all this is pankta, fivefold. By the pankta, he sustains the pankta. So, pancha prana is sustained by pancha mahabhutas, like that. Okay. The earth, the intermediate quarters, these are the collection of the five words of Lokapankta. Like that, Disha, Antardisha, etc. The fire, etc., a collection of the five devatas. Then water, etc., collection of five bhutas. Kshiti, Aptej, Marut, Bhom. Thus far regarding the creatures, that is, here is described the collection of five objects that are external and gross creatures. Then beginning with prana, in the collection of the five vital airs, prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana. Then beginning with the eyes is the collection of the five senses, eyes, ears, tongue, nose and skin, five senses. Beginning with the skin is beginning with the skin is the collection of the five primary fluids of the body, that dhatu, pancha dhatu. Sometimes seven dhatus are there. Now, as regards to the soul, here is the collection of five objects, internal and subtle. The soul. All this after, etc., the Shruti here says that the seer, after having analyzed the whole of the objective world, classified it all as fivefold under the two divisions of Adhibhuta and Adhyatma. Adhibhuta means whatever is created outside, whatever is the self or related to self. By the Pankta, etc., that means the external collections of five are strengthened or sustained by the internal collections of five, those in relation to the soul. Thereby, the two divisions are united under one heading. Okay. So, actually it is one, and it looks like objective and subjective. And actually it is one. Now comes Om iti Brahma. Om ityad. Now comes Everything is Brahman. Om iti Brahma, Om idakam sarvam, Om ityatanoutkriti hasma, va apyo sravayatya sravayanti, Om iti samani gayanti, Ogam somiti shastrani shagum santi. Anyway, Om is Brahman. Brahman. All is Brahman. See, first, like, it started with primary things. Now, then outside, inside, then fivefold. Now everything is Brahman. So Om is Brahman, all is Om. Om itagam sarvam. Whatever we see, iti idagam. Idagam means whatever we see. Idam. Idam, we, while chanting we say idagam. Om iti idam sarvam. So everything is Brahman. This Om is. Now this unification. Now see, like, we don't understand. I think I am separate, this table is separate, everything is separate. So, and this is realization. After realization they said, because they saw it is all one. It's not like imagination. Say Sri Ramakrishna used to talk to devotees, and then all of a sudden he would merge in divine. And he saw that everything is Brahman. He said, I cannot scold anyone. Why? Because I see it is God alone who is manifesting in so many forms. So this is, one has to lift oneself to that state. Then only we can understand. Brutes can fight with fisticuffs. But, learned, they won't fight. If they are not fully learned, then they argue. But when they are really learned, they say, okay, this is also possible, this is also possible. This path is okay, this path is also okay. There are so many innumerable paths. So why to worry about it? Even those who are, say, miscreant, say like Girish Chandra Ghosh, he was not very pious person. He committed all kinds of things, possible, impossible, everything he did. Okay. But to Sri Ramakrishna, he saw in the same Brahman. That's why he encouraged him, and he became like a saint. Or he became a saint, not like. So, one has to uplift oneself. That is the point. So all this is Om. This Om is uttered to indicate consent. Om ityadanukriti hasma. And also it is well known. So like, we see in the beginning you can see Om Brahmarpanam Brahma. Or here also we started Om Sahana Bhavatu. Or this prayer, whatever we prayed, that Shanno, Om Shanno Mitra. So like it gives the power. Everything is Brahman. This indicate consent, mean affirmation. Amen. You say in the Amen. So it's like, the judge, after pronouncing the judgment, hammer. So this final. It's like signing document. It's done. And also it is well known that by uttering Om, they begin chanting. With Om, they sing the Sama songs. So Om. Samani gayanti. Then Om, Shom, say they and recite the Shastras. Om, thus the officiating priest says his answer with Om. With Om, the Brahma makes his ascent. With Om begins the Brahmana, Brahmana to teach the and says, may I obtain Brahman, and Brahman he attains. Omiti Brahmanah pravakshanyah brahmopapno apnavaniti brahmaiva upapnoti. So he attains Brahman. So Omkara is one word that encapsulates the whole thing. It is said like E is equal to mc square. So they are searching one thing which will encompass everything. So there in physics there are four kinds of forces. What are those? Strong force, weak force, electromagnetic force, and gravitational force. So they are trying to unify these. The solution of everything. What is that called? The equation of everything, or something like that. Equation of everything. They are searching. So here it is already discovered. Om contains everything. Om is all pervading. Om ityekaksharam Brahman. Om, this one akshar is Brahman. And that's why Brahma upasati. So people worship Brahman. If you worship Brahman, it's a worshipping, if you worship Om or chant Om, then you are worshipping Brahman. Because it encompasses everything. It encapsulates everything. Only thing one should understand this. If you don't understand and think, just worship, then it will not work. But one should understand. It is a story. So, one boy learnt that there is something, if you know that, you know everything. So he said, okay, let me find out. So he went to a guru and he searched many gurus, then went to one guru. He did not succeed in other places, so ultimately he went to one guru. He said, okay, you be here, you serve this community. I'll tell you later. So after 5 years, he said, oh, you have not yet told me. Okay, you continue serving. So another 5 years. After another 5 years, then after 20 years, then he said, this is Om. And then why should you took so much of time? That I knew right from the beginning. He said, okay, I'll give you example. I have a problem. I have something. Can you sell this to the market? And then but he just asked, what is the rate? So he gave that stone and went to a brinjal seller. This is from the gospel also. So brinjal seller said, yes, brother, I can give you 10 shares of brinjal. Can you increase a little more? No. I have said more than what it should be. The rate should be. Then he went to a say like grocers. So he said, okay, I can give you $100. A little more you can increase. Well, no, I have said more than that. Then he went to a cloth merchants. So he said, I can give you $2,000. What I am saying, just to denote. And he said, can you increase a little more, dear sir? He said, no. I have said more than the market rate. Then he went to a jeweler's shop. And he saw that, oh, marvelous. He said, diamond, I can give you $2,000. So he went to the teacher and told the whole story. Then he said, can you understand? Those who can value this, they'll understand the meaning. And with your stay here, gradually you learn its importance. Otherwise, this everything is written in books now. Even mantras are written, but that is not the way. Because to have the power, you must have the tapasya, that penance, austerity. Then only you will realize this. It's not, everything is written in the book, but you need to go to medical school and see operations. You then share with your surgeon, teacher. Gradually you become a surgeon. By Google, you can search, and all knowledge now is available in Google. You search anything, and now AI. If you want to ask if you want to write a poem, suppose, you just give a topic, and it will write for you. But that is not growth. Even to write that, imagine how much effort underwent to develop this. So, in short, this word now we are using Om, but we are not experiencing this. Because we need to educate ourselves, lift to that level, then only we'll understand. So this is hard-earned prize that one has to understand, one has to undergo. So Shom say they recite the Shastras. Om, thus the officiating priest says his answer. With Om, the Brahma makes his ascent. Brahma Prasauti. And with Om begins the Brahmana to teach and say, may I obtain Brahman, and Brahman he attains. So this is to be cultivated, this is to be strive for. Now, when Brahman, everything is Brahman, what is the need of going to school, learning this, going to temple? What is the need? This is important. This cultivation. Once in a time, if you go to temple, then what happens? You will get some inspiration, but it will be discontinued if you don't come. So this is pursuing a things constantly, continuously, not continually. Continuously. Continually means with little gap. But continuously means always. They should observe the following: right action and the study and the teaching of the Vedas. See why we are here. And here, Ritam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Ritam, what is Ritam? Equilibrium, equanimity, balance. Sometimes you are high and sometimes too low. No, it should be equilibrium. Ritam, rhythm, The English word, maybe it has come from their rhythm. So there should be a balance in everything. Whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we strive for. So they should observe the following: right action. This is a right action also. But when it is full of equilibrium, then it is right. It's not tilted to one side, or it's not bad. And the study of the teaching of the Vedas. So this not to be neglected. See, when we study, even when we teach, what happens? We learn. You may not learn that much. But when we say like this, all these things, actually when I am teaching, then only I learn more. So that's why it is not to be pramaditavyam, not to be neglected. ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मनुष्यंच स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यावचाराथीतरः तपः इति तपो नित्यः पौरिशिष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः. So, let us go through. Right action and the study. Oh, time is up. Eh? Cliffhanger. Okay, no, because I saw it 40, more than 40. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, yeah, say, who will become millionaire? So Hooter is Hoot, comes. Oh, it is Hooter. So hanging to create the excitement. Okay. Okay, very good. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai
Like
Ma.
the way you sing it.
Eh?
We understand more the way you sing it. It
Okay.
sounds so good. Yeah. But
Okay,
don't
so
understand the meaning though.
uh, and secondly, it's when you repeatedly hear, gradually perception is clarified. When you see something, say an art piece, you may not understand. And then you have to ask an expert, "Acha, what is the meaning of this?" Then the all symbols are used. Then you can understand in a better way. Huh? And then if you become an expert, then you will know more. That is why in art galleries, some people are standing there. They'll explain, this is this, this is this. And I went to that Dali, Salvador Dali.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that, so at first what is this? And then when they explained, okay, like see this way, okay, then I understood a little. Okay. So with repeated,
Maharaj,
eh?
and Shasta Anuvak, what are they trying to say there? Are they trying to say, like, trying to explain the Shushumna Nadi in
Mm.
the sixth
and
Anubhav?
and see what I said. This is the seed. Later it was developed. Hmm? Saya esho antarhriday akash. So akash is within the heart. Now here not heart, this heart, the center of our being. Sa yah, sahad, he, yah, this, eshaha, here, in this. Antar hridaya akasha. So, antar hridaya. So, within the heart, there is space. Tasmin ayam purushaha. This purushaha is residing there. Why purusha? Because he is residing there. Puri shayanat. He is resting like that. Purush. Like shayan means sleeping. Yeah, he is sleeping there. You have to wake him up. Tasmin
Yes,
purusha.
Maharaj.
Huh?
He is sleeping and we are sleeping too.
Yeah. So actually he is not sleeping, we are sleeping, right?
We are sleeping.
So we are to wake us up. Okay. So tasmin nayam purusha. Purusha purishayanat purnatvatva. That means he pervades everywhere. So suppose, say I am speaking, I am gesturing, posturing, but I am unconscious. What is this? Okay. you will say, you will be unconscious, I will seeing you. But for me, this whole creation stops. When you go to deep sleep, where is this creation? Nowhere. When you are wake up, then only you see, oh, stars, galaxies, then the hills and dales, etc., etc. So when we are conscious, in that consciousness everything reveals. People say, see Swamiji, how beautiful this yellow color is. I say, who is the artist who created this? He said, oh, God is artist, God has created. I said, no, it is you. You are aware. That is why it is so beautiful. Beauty is not there. Beauty is here. A potato seller or a grocer, he may see the same thing, but it's not beautiful for him or her. It is the person. Beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. It is said also. So beauty is not there. Beauty is here. All sceneries are not there. It is here. So all creation is not there. It is here. So that's why Manomayaha, Tasminnayaha Purushaha Manomayaha, Amrita Hiranmayaha. And this is self-effulgent, immortal. See? So it is understandable. It's not that very difficult, right? What do you say?
I should not say that.
And not only that, Antarena Taluke, in between the talus.
Talus meaning, যেটাকে আমরা আলজিব্রা বলি, সেটা মিন করার চেষ্টা করছি।
Actually, this is symbol. By this, when you give attention, in between the pallets, there is something hanging. Yeah. Okay, concentrate there. So this is symbol. With this symbol, you'll find reality.
Sushumna.
Then again, this all the meaning.
The Sushumna Nadi, right?
Yeah, various. Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, and then it goes crisscross also. And so what I said here is not. To say that here it is not in details. Details were worked out later. First revelation, and then they worked on it. Okay, this Veda says like this. What it means? Then they meditated further, and with greater knowledge, and they discovered more things. In the beginning, say like atomic theory, Dalton gave a postulation that if you break something or cut something, there will be a small point which you cannot cut further. So that is the atom. And then later discovered, no, it can be broken. So they gave subatomic particle. Then, subatomic particles also many types. So 1, 2, 3, electron, proton, neutron, positron, then boson, and that so many kinds, more than 100. So in the beginning, everything is not revealed. As you concentrate, gradually you learn. Right? So we have to put attention. So in the beginning, this is only an indication, just indication. So Ira, Pingala, Sushumna, then Sri Ramakrishna also, when Sri Ramakrishna would go to Samadhi, his backbone would become like this, big rope, because surge is going up. When we make pranam, what happens? Gravity helps us to have the circulation upward. That is why you can feel you are uplifted. So many things were discovered later and developed, but here in gist it is being said. Okay. Thank you very much. Today is Akshay there?
Yes.
No.
No.
Okay. No problem. Okay. We say our prayer.
Interesting.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj.
Jai Ma Hari Om.